O Jiu-Jitsu brasileiro, ou BJJ, é uma arte marcial de autodefesa e uma modalidade de luta agarrada, onde o objetivo é imobilizar o oponente no chão através de uma finalização, de uma torção de um membro do corpo ou um estrangulamento, forçando o rival a desistir. Hoje vamos conhecer o talento de Nathan dos Santos, um prodígio luso-canadiano deste desporto que demonstra uma enorme ambição para conquistar torneios e tornar-se o melhor mentor possível para os seus alunos.
When I was younger, my dad wanted to get me into something to do, right? And I didn't want to play any sports. I played some in school, but he put me in karate when I was around 8 years old, and I trained karate for 12 years. I got my black belt in karate, and one day we had a jiu-jitsu guy come to our school. He was a blue belt, which is the second belt, the second level, maybe a year or two of training. And I was wearing a black belt, I was 18, and he beat all of us. He rolled with us and beat every single black belt one by one. And I was like, there's something to this. Like, how could a blue belt, a beginner, basically beat all these black belts? So I started grappling with him like every weekend. And I asked him, I want to start competing. And he's like, you should go to Toronto BJJ. That's the best school for jiu-jitsu. So I came here to Toronto BJJ in 2010, and I started again as a white belt. And I think that's something about that martial arts gives you is just being humble and starting again. But around 4 years in, I fell in love with competing and teaching as well. So I started teaching as a purple belt, left my full-time job to just teach a couple hours a week here, and I just committed all my time to competing and training, and that was really my passion. Now, as I get a little bit older, I've kind of transitioned more. I still compete as much as possible, but I've transitioned more into teaching, and I've fallen in love with teaching and inspiring others and passing on my knowledge of Jiu-Jitsu.
O luso-canadiano descreve o que faz desta modalidade tão especial.
Jiu-Jitsu translates to the gentle art, and that's right away it starts to give you an idea, well, how can a martial art be gentle? Well, the idea is that you're using the opponent's energy against them. So the more force someone puts on you, once you understand to learn the techniques, move your body, you can apply techniques and turn it on them. Jiu-Jitsu is about, first, maybe I would say on the surface, it's just learning positions of how to fight and defend yourself. But very quickly you learn that it gives you the ability to beat a much larger and stronger opponent through technique. So having knowledge of Jiu-Jitsu will give you the edge over someone who doesn't know how to train or is coming at you with brute force. You learn how to be calm in chaos. You learn how to control your emotions, and you learn to breathe, use control of your breath and your body to completely be calm, but also to someone watching, it looks like a fight. But once you understand the techniques, it's very technical. Dealing with stress or problem solving, you can use the skills that you've learned on the mats, and you might not necessarily, see it in the moment. But once you're in the outside world, you can take a step back and this isn't so bad. I've been through this before. And you create these little micro problems constantly on the mats, and you can use those skills in the outside world. So I think that translates really well.
O atleta confessa ser ambicioso, querendo sempre continuar a ganhar medalhas e pódios, tanto no Canadá, mas como a nível internacional, demonstrando uma enorme disciplina e dedicação para atingir os seus objetivos.
There's no better feeling than winning a tournament or even a match. And you're excited for the moment, you're so happy that it's over, but then you kind of remember and reflect all the work you put in to even make it to that point and do it. But it becomes this high that you chase because it goes away very quickly. The next day, people forget. No one really cares that you competed and won. But I think personally, it creates this chase of wanting to achieve it again. Locally, I think I compete a lot locally throughout all the belts. So winning the Ontario Open is kind of the big tournament for us. I've won the Toronto Open multiple times in Montreal and traveled to the States to compete. I've gone to Abu Dhabi, I think 5 times at this point, and I've got multiple medals there. I've competed in Colombia, Sweden, Portugal, where the Europeans is held.
Nathan destaca as dificuldades financeiras que muitos lutadores de jiu-jitsu enfrentam, tendo de financiar as suas viagens e participações em torneios através do ensino de aulas e patrocínios.
There are a select few that make money strictly from competing. They can train full-time. For jiu-jitsu, you're balancing a lot of things. You have to. For me, mainly, I teach classes. That's the number one way. You teach classes throughout the day on popular times, and you get paid per hour, essentially. Competitions may or may not have prize money. It's rare here in Canada. There's maybe one in the year that actually offers prizes. So we have to travel abroad often. States, Abu Dhabi, things like this where they embrace jiu-jitsu more. There's more opportunity. But for me, I kind of stick more to like, I'm at the stage where I'm trying to make a name for myself. So competing a lot, achieving titles, getting medals will sort of set me up for the future.
Nathan partilha os seus planos para o futuro, incluindo o sonho da sua vida.
Maybe someday I would like to have my own academy and have my own, it would still be a part of this, but my own family and my own students and my own academy is something I really visualize now. I start to see that more as like my future. But as long as I keep competing and as long as I'm able to stay on the mats, I'm happy.
Nathan dos Santos irá continuar a brilhar e a representar os valores mais altos do BJJ, conquistando novas vitórias com a bandeira portuguesa sempre presente no seu gi, o robe tradicional do Jiu-Jitsu.
But jiu-jitsu I plan to do for the rest of my life. I think like keeping my body healthy is something that comes with the jiu-jitsu lifestyle. I think jiu-jitsu is a part of my lifestyle, so it's something that I'm always going to do.